From the 6th subfloor basement of the Guys, Games, and Beer Towers, it is the podcast of Lingering Disappointment. Guys, Games, and Beer!
Yay!
Dude, with sound.
Now with sound, yes.
That's why we were too right on before.
Yeah, well, that's it, because now we'll screw it up and be late. All right, so I suppose we should get to beer court, Rob.
What?
Beer court?
What? Oh. Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-bum-bum. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-ba-da-da. Beer court.
All right, so Larry, we got a new beer tonight.
We have Mystical Jack. This is from Rhinelander Brewery out of Monroe, Wisconsin. And doesn't have a big story here.
Now, wait a minute. Rhinelander Brewery out of Monroe. Now, isn't it like Rhinelander a city in Wisconsin, though? So why isn't Rhinelander out of Rhinelander?
And why is it not the Hode?
Well,
Have you been to Rhinelander?
Brewery. I mean, it's like
Okay.
that every
Point well taken. I have been to Rhinelander.
Yeah,
that
the
every
Hode is
parkside
more
thing is
historical.
next to a
I
park.
agree with you. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And besides, I think Rhinelander, I won't know
Not the
for
whole
sure,
bag,
but I
it's
do
totally
think
different thing.
it also is kind of like an area like up north.
It is.
Also, are you
Yeah.
trying
No,
to
no,
kill
Wisconsin.
us?
So
Did you see the alcohol by volume?
Yeah, no, we're
no,
gonna get to that. We're
100%.
gonna get to that.
That's
We're gonna get to
nothing.
that. So there isn't a big story on here.
Oh,
Some of them have
yeah.
a big story about the brewery and stuff. This one does not. It just says this is inspired by the age-old legend of the jackalope, which is featured predominantly.
Which is an animal that masturbates.
Yeah, well,
in
that
the
would
woods.
make sense.
Whenever it
I
sees
jackal up
somebody.
every chance I get.
That's right. A rare and fierce
Oh.
creature. Wow, is this really for beer?
Is this beer for real?
I like it my way better. So, anyways, 7% about 7% alcohol, so that's pretty.
Yeah,
That's a lot for
This is not a
for
session,
an ale.
This is not a session beer.
80 IBU. So
Okay, for an ale, I'm not sure that's a good thing.
that seems a
It's
little
pretty
high
for an
me.
ale.
Well, it's traditional ale.
But I gotta be honest, we've had other stuff from this brewery and we've not had great luck. So.
All right, well, let's try this and find out.
Oh, I like it.
Oh,
I'm okay with it.
No.
Really?
I was going to say, I'm okay
I like
with
it.
this so far.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I actually like it quite a bit.
I gotta take
I was expecting to hate it, honestly.
It tastes very much
Oh,
like traditional ale.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I like a traditional ale.
Are you giving the one? Jeez, I wonder why it tastes a little off, Larry.
Hey, hold on. That's why I gotta give it another try here.
Yeah, it's really not bad.
Sorry.
It's a good solid ale.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I would have thought it would be really bitter, but it's not.
No, it's got a
It's
bitter.
bitter.
It's got a bitter finish.
Especially
it's not
after you
super
swallow and
bitter.
everything, it's
You
pretty bitter.
know, bitter's a funny thing.
Happened to
I hear people talk about bitterness of like an IPA, okay, and then I hear people talk about it like coffee bitter. It's almost like there's two different bitters.
Well, there
But
really are.
if I got this in a bar and I didn't if I wanted an ale and I bought this without kind of knowing what it was because it's just a bottle and not the whole pack, I might be upset because it is more bitter than you would expect from
For
an ale.
an ale. I'm okay with the bitterness, though.
Well, it's a traditional.
This goes back down
You
to what
don't
we
know
talked about
how far
before.
back it goes.
Right,
If it's 200-year-old tradition, well, maybe it's supposed to be.
It's
that
not
bitter.
so bitter. It's again, like we always talk about. It won't be the last thing you taste
Right.
for the evening.
Right.
It's bitter enough where you taste it. It's something. It's not even like a hoppy bitter. It's just got a bitter. It's got a bitter finish, but it's not like a hoppy bitter.
Well, more like a coffee bitter.
Yeah, more like a coffee. You're right. It's more like a coffee bitter.
That's probably why I like it so much, huh?
It is
Bitter like life.
It's really not bad. So I would say that maybe we've had a
It's
little
better.
bit better luck with that.
I pound down this 7.
But that being said, you won't be slamming a whole bunch of these at 7%.
Challenge
No.
accepted.
Please.
All right. Well, again,
Well,
if you're from Wisconsin, you might.
Someone's gonna
I do
carry you
love
home
this.
if
I
it
do
doesn't
love
happen.
this.
The artwork is pretty
The
cool.
If you
artwork
enjoy
really
ales
do
in
it.
any capacity, this is worth trying.
Yeah.
Like it's well done. Like
Yeah, it's good.
Do you have a
There's
jackal
something
on
really
your
special
mantle?
about it,
You know,
but-
like Most Wisconsin, especially about you,
I do not
Travis.
have a jackalope.
I disagree.
In the bar, there should be one in the bar.
I don't. I
thought
know. I
like
don't have it. It's
Wisconsin
not that kind of
has
bar.
a jack.
Someone
It's
has
not a
to say.
jackalope style bar.
All right, let's pass verdict on this. We'll give a thumbs up.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I like it. Well, I'll be damned.
Well, again,
They pulled off a thumbs up around the board.
well,
No.
not quite.
Larry
Larry's
gave it a.
Larry's just
Larry Bear's
Larry's
being,
just semi-erect. He's
okay.
he's got a
He has
chubby,
pills for that later.
he's got a chubby going.
He's,
Larry Bear's
he's only
just
regular
being,
jacking. He's not mystical jacking.
difficult, just to be difficult.
All right, Judge Rob,
So,
pass verdict on this.
By the way, Peanut Gallery Benjamin
Yeah.
is accepting the challenge to pound these down.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't do it, Benji.
So we got a repeating theme of beers. Jackalope, monkeys, dirt.
So we're doing animals
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, we have been
Animal
doing a lot of animal.
Cheers.
Never mind, Travis. All right, Ben. Challenge evidently was accepted.
No, there's a little bit left in there.
That's half.
That's spit and foam.
Hey, if we were in a drinking contest and I held it up like
Yeah,
this.
see?
We're not a beer fest. We're guys, games, and beers. We don't have standards. 90% is an A.
Judge Rob, let's rock and roll on this. Give us a verdict.
All right, on count one of public indecency, I find you guilty. You jackaloping in public. It's not good. Can't be doing that kind of crap.
Oh, only if you get caught.
On count.
Challenge accepted.
On count.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. On count two. Oh, you're gonna groan. Vixen, what ails ya?
That's a comedy sports
Groaner
foul.
foul!
All right.
Thank God we're not doing.
Need a plus
we're
one
not
for a
doing
great
Travis.
judge.
By the quick one. Hey, Joel, how you doing, buddy? Long time. Joel,
I sentence you to drinking.
Hi, Joel!
Hi, Joe. Hi.
Hey.
Matt's not even here today. The one
I know,
time
but what
he-
did Matt, you tune in when Matt's not actually on the show tonight.
Maybe that's why.
All right. So, we have finished beer court. What's the real topic tonight, Rob?
Well, today we're going to talk about this rash I've got right.
Oh,
That's a different episode.
We
That's
talked-
I have a
Yeah,
salve
we talked
for
about that
I have a
earlier.
salve for that.
I bet you do.
That's how he got the rash in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to talk. We're going to talk about that special thing in our collection that matters. The most important thing, if you will, in our collection to us. It's like a personal. It's a real personal. This is a personal episode.
Oh. Wait.
It doesn't have to be rare. It just has to be special.
Right. And then,
By the way, this topic comes to us via Vidja Gamer.
yeah.
Hey, Vidja Gamer.
He showed some pretty cool stuff
sent
in
me, yeah, he
in
did.
his video.
Yeah, he sent me a challenge to do one on my station. I did it, and then I sent us a challenge to do it, which I knew we'd answer. Also,
We have no
Steve
standards.
Bentley got it,
'Cause
and
we
our
have
good
no
friend
standards,
Forrest Bauer
Steve.
got one, too.
Oh, did you challenge Forrest to this too? Oh, good.
Yeah, because I thought it'd be neat to get
Ooh,
some
what did
board
Forrest
game
do?
stuff.
He hasn't done one yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna
He's
go.
slack.
I
I
gotta
can
go hard,
imagine it'd be
you know.
a board game.
Yeah, but that's something. Oh, no,
That's the idea.
Now wait,
I kind of wish we would have done a board game.
we could
but-
have. We'll talk about that when we get going here. Okay, so who wants to go first? What's up with their collection piece?
Travie.
Evidently, you're up first, Travis.
All right.
Tell.
So for mine, I very much enjoyed this piece. Basically,
It's that bag.
Yeah, it's a bag. It's a blue bag.
It
But
carries
this is,
all my games.
this is the one piece of my collection that I most enjoy. I've had this on the show before. It's the 10 million model PlayStation, and it's a cool piece. It's not anything extraordinary. Again, at the end of the day, it's rare. It's rare.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's a colored PlayStation. But the fact that it has a very cool story behind it. Again, only about 300 of these in the world. There's 100 U.S. models of these. They had 100 European, 100 North American, and then 100.
Love on that, buddy.
So, and it's, again, outside of it being midnight blue, which is pretty cool, it's got the 10 million model marking on the back. It's like a not for sale. Unfortunately, I did not get the controller with it. But the fact that I did find this on Craigslist, I think I was posting an ad at the time looking for games. Somebody had messaged me about it. They knew it was from a promotion. They had got it from a cousin who won in a contest, and they reached out to me about it. It was a total fucking pain in the ass to get.
I remember what you.
I saved all the text messages. I really did.
So take us through a brief explanation.
Okay, so I had put up an ad on Craigslist. I was looking for stuff, basically, just kind of seeing if anybody had anything they wanted to sell.
Looking for stuff.
Yeah, I was looking for game stuff. Yeah. Look at man for man section. No big deal. But I got a message, a text message, basically that he had this PlayStation stuff
with games,
and he knew what it was. And unfortunately, like, this was probably about 2015, about 2 years ago.
Yeah, about 2 years ago now.
And there's not a whole lot of information online about it. Like, if you do a Google search on it, they're not on eBay a lot because there's only 300 of them. It's not a great order. I'm missing the I/O port on the back cover. It's in okay cosmetic shape. There's no controller for it.
So I've been keeping my eyes open.
Oh yeah, I know. There was one that showed up online and we wanted like $500 for it. I tried
just the controller.
Just the controller.
Yeah. A regular PS1 controller.
I offered him like $250 for it.
But to make the set complete,
yeah, there's only 300 of these in the world. There are more controllers. They had
right.
That was like a second place prize. They had like 1,000. There's technically 1,300 approximate controllers because they gave away 1,000 just the controllers, and then 300 of the systems, and that had the controller and everything else.
I was gonna spray paint one blue for you.
I'm saying just to put this in perspective,
we've seen how well that
I'm
looks.
cheap and I wouldn't spend $250 on most things.
But the guy had texted me. And it legitimately was a back and forth. Like I was like, we're trying to work out a trade and like partial cash, and like we went through like 8 different deals. Like I had a ton of stuff, but the guy just was really fucking indecisive, and I was just like, but I entertained it because it was like, oh, when are you ever gonna find this again? Like yeah. So I just tried to be polite, but the guy was just like very, very fucking like dismissive, and then he like ended up like, oh, I found his cousin wanted to buy it back or whatever, and I was just like, fuck it, like that's fine, do what you gotta do, and then he messaged me out of the blue like 2 weeks later. Like, oh, hey, you still want it? Let's go. And
totally fell through.
Yeah.
No, he figured the deal was all dead already.
Yeah, so he messaged me out of the blue, and I'm like, I will be there, and I dropped everything I was doing. I was like, I don't want him to fucking change his mind again. I am driving up there now. Let's fucking do this. And so I legitimately...
Awesome, taking a vacation day.
Yeah.
You did, actually.
I took like a half day. But, so I legitimately drove to like northern Wisconsin. It was like a 3-hour drive. I went with Jess.
To Rhineland?
To meet in Farm and Fleet parking lot.
Of course!
I forget exactly. I traded like a bunch of like 3DS stuff. Some Nintendo goodie, like Nintendo stuff trades well. So I traded him some. He wanted some games, and I gave him like cash on top of that. So it came out to like 500-ish in like games and cash. I remember giving him like 200 cash and then like a bunch of games and stuff. But all in all, it was a good deal. So yeah, I ended up with this bad boy, and it was very well worth it.
Right, and for the last 2 years we've shown it at MGC, and you can be sure it will be at MGC again
and
this year.
Until the Nintendo prototype showed up, that was the rarest PlayStation.
Yeah,
so.
So literally MGC
this is the second rarest
has
PlayStation.
the 2 rarest PlayStations available, the prototype, and this at MGC.
At the end of the day, like, it's cool because like a lot of the game collecting for me, and for a lot of people who do collecting, it's fun to hunt for stuff. Like, the game stuff is nice. It's nice to have that collection, but the thrill of the hunt. A lot of people like that. Being able to... And I talk with a lot of cool people who game and everything, and it's a good way to network. And, like, this is, like, the epitome of, like, the good and bad of game collecting, because it was, like, seriously, it was 300-plus text messages, 3 weeks. It was, like, it was, like, 3.5 weeks.
Work to it.
I remember he was talking about this.
Yeah, I was like, am I going to get it? Am I not going to get it? Am I going to get it? Like, what are we doing now? Like, and then after, like, the whole thing of, like, it falling apart, it's like, fuck it, it's not really worth it. Not worth that extra stress. And then, again, at the end of the day, I ended up getting it. So that was pretty cool. So it's kind of like a good reminder, like, there's still cool stuff out there. Because you read a lot of, like, I hang out on game collecting subreddits and stuff like that, and like people post really cool scores, and like sometimes you get dry spells, like, or again you just don't have the extra time or money to collect, and like sometimes you're never gonna find any good deals when you do have the extra cash, and that kind of sucks. But like this and a couple other scores I have, like this is the pinnacle of like there's still cool stuff out there. There's still like if you put in the extra time and effort, and you kind of look around and, willing to compromise a little bit and spend a little extra time, like, you can find cool stuff out there. And, like, this, whenever I look at the system, it just reminds me, like, it's 2017, and you can still find good deals at the end of the day.
So,
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you. So, of the stuff that you used in trade, is there any of it that you re-sought out and got?
No, it was mostly doubles. I have a very large 3DS collection. So I traded. Jess and I both had DSs, and I traded my DS XL. She still had one, and I was like, I've got 2 DSs around. Like I can still play like DS games on that. So she still had hers. And then like all the games were doubles. Like again, I try to like pick up Mario titles and first party Nintendo stuff when it's cheap. And like the Pokemon games, those are always really popular because those have great trade value. Those like never go down. So it's just like it was.
So it wasn't like something like.
No,
oh man, I gotta.
It was.
I'm going to give that way now. Now I'm on the hunt for this over here.
No, it was. I was very lucky on that front. It's just like it was nice to have all that stuff and not even think twice about it.
This guy seems like a schmuck, but
He was, but he
yeah.
he put his back in that
Wait. I would be hesitant to go.
I don't think
he might just have been torn.
No, schmuck.
No, he wasn't. No,
He was a schmuck.
No, have Travis show you the text messages.
Yeah, it was very flaky.
I've
schmuck
seen the
is my
300
nice-
text
Yeah,
messages.
but think about that. 300
But-
text.
It was 300 plus. I'm not even joking. Like it is legitimately 300 plus text messages.
But I can totally understand being like.
No, schmuck is the nice word.
Yeah, and it's just like well, the thing is like he would like kind of make up his mind and then change his mind and like it was I don't know. Regardless of how he was in the situation, it's just like it was. Sometimes it's just worth the extra effort. Just kind of like set aside, like okay, it's a few hours extra of my time, but it was worth it. It was worth the extra time, for sure.
All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right.
I actually didn't bring mine in.
like
That's okay.
But
So hold it up.
it's here.
That's a nice cock you got
That's
there.
That's the clear 3DS XL.
Yeah.
So,
really clear.
Ultimate clear.
mine is simple. It's something that matters to me is my original Nintendo and Super Nintendo. Why? Because they're the same ones I've had since I was a child and still work.
See, that's a nice thing. Like,
Yeah.
like having the stuff you had when you were a child is just like again, there's just something magical about it.
Yeah, and that, I will spend money, nothing failed. The only thing I've had to do is clean up the contacts on the NES. But other than that, I've had no issues with them, and I will spend money to fix them because I want to keep those ones. Because, it's important.
So no, that is because
NES.
how many times do we talk about the games that we had when we were younger that we go out and rebuy? So the fact you were able to hold on to those for that.
And the fact that it's the
So
same
the-
one, since I was literally 2 and stuff,
Wow.
I like that.
So the NES under the Christmas tree, birthday, just another.
Well, the
just
NES
showed up
is
'cause your
as old
brother's
as I
had
am, so my brother probably got it, and that
But you
you
left the
got
home
it,
with it.
so-
You have the soda ring
Alright.
on top?
was Do you have the what?
The soda ring on top?
I did have to do some extensive cleaning on them.
It's like a need.
And then, so was the Super NES under the tree?
Somebody jack me.
Yeah.
Wow, he does that so well.
So mystical.
Real
Yes.
talent.
Yes.
The story.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of practice.
I don't remember.
Jackalope.
So I was born in '89. What year was this?
Really?
Super
Just
Nintendo
let that
released?
go, huh? Right.
That's
93.
really a Rob question.
What year was the Super Nintendo released?
Oh, jeez.
92?
93.
91?
I want to say
earlier.
93.
Yeah, so I was 4, so I don't remember if that's when we got it or not.
Oh, yeah, because,
Well, it
Has
had to have
it
been like
jacked up?
90, actually, because I started working at Target, and it was released,
Someone
very
used
early
the
in life.
internet that's sitting in front of them.
'cause I had the
Yeah, I'm working on that right now as we
No,
speak.
let's
91.
And I
speculate.
switched
that's-
over to it.
So
91.
So I was 2.
91.
So I don't know.
Ah.
Thank you,
Well-
Vidja Gamer.
We had a special
There's no
on it.
pictures of you
We've
going
been
like
drinking.
this?
Yeah. Not
I
nearly
was just
enough,
lazy
though.
and didn't want to disconnect it and bring it here.
That shows you
That's
how
fair.
to remember.
No, honestly, that's part of the considerations too. Like, well, I can bring this system, but I'd have to disconnect it.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And it's
Well, I know,
old.
right?
It might
Yeah.
not have survived the
Hey,
tour.
It's fine. Wait,
You know
which
what?
system? The NES and SNES.
They're like 2 cords.
I didn't want to go upstairs and disconnect them.
Exactly.
It's not
They're
that
old.
going behind
People,
everything.
your parents from like their nursing home to bring them somewhere to show them off.
Well, there you go.
Once in a while.
You know, that's why I always encourage
No,
having
the
double
answer is
parents, so that your parents can stay in their nursing home and you can have the show parents. So.
You just rent.
Oh, I
younger
meant
and younger
systems.
parents.
I meant systems.
I'm just saying. It's
My God, do we do a lot of. I was looking up our SNES episode.
We did a lot of SNES episodes.
And boy, was that off center.
All right, so who wants to go next? All right,
You know, I could go.
all right, you go next.
And
Come on,
you know, just kind of, I'm gonna tag on the original beginning. Is obviously collecting is just so personal. What you want to collect, what you want.
We did one, didn't we?
What it is that you think is like so cool.
Probably.
And for me, light gun games have always been really cool, but one in particular was always really cool for me. I've collected almost the entire American catalog of PlayStation 1 light gun games. But Elemental Gearbolt was always one of my favorites.
Nice.
Because I actually didn't buy it originally. I borrowed it from Jim. And Alicia and I played it for hours together, you know? And to be honest, I mean, because she was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or something like that, she wasn't very good. So
Yeah, I was like 30 something. Then I just beat the shit out of her every day.
no.
And the cover is really shiny.
It's a co-op game. It's a co-op game, and I felt
So
like
she didn't carry her away.
She didn't carry her weight, but you know what? I'm gonna be okay with that. I was okay with that, you know, because it was just so cool with me and my daughter just playing this game together, and it's a different kind of light gun game because almost all the ones kind of deal in the sort of normal gun shooting errors. So Western or contemporary or police shooting or sci-fi. But this game is more like some sort of like D&D sort of fantasy realm. And instead of shooting like bullets or whatever, a lot of times you're shooting like, well, I mean, it's called Elemental Gearbolt, right? So you're shooting like elements, like, like some kind of energy or something like that. So it's a little bit different. It's also kind of strange. It's kind of funny that like he's looking at the insert, which is so thick that they had to make it a double CD.
CD case, yeah.
It doesn't actually use 2 CDs, but they just needed the room to be able to put the instruction booklet in.
Yeah,
It's very
this
pretty.
way.
It's a very pretty
I'm in
game.
the middle, the exact middle, and it's 28 pages. So the total is 50 pages.
It's 50 pages and on thick cardboard. It's
very
not just
pretty.
like it's not. You're right, and I think it was meant to be really pretty.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
very
it was
pretty.
supposed to be.
Yeah, and like the characters
Yeah.
have very like anime character design.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, really.
I thought it was an RPG just by looking at the case.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like
It's-
gun game.
It's
what?
a gun game. It's a light gun game, and it's kind of an RPG in the sense that you do as you go along, you can level up and stuff like that
Okay, cool.
as you go along. But it is a rail light gun game, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Uses all can be used with any of the light guns. So we usually use the non-GunCon style gun with it, but you can use GunCon with it. So I mean, it's a lot of fun. But it was just that experience of being able to play with my daughter and stuff like that. For all that time playing this game together, it was a lot of fun. So that one was always good, and it's not a cheap one to go out and find.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not crazy expensive. Somewhere between 70 and 150.
Yeah, that is getting up there though.
something like that. I mean, so it's one of the more rare ones to try to
Question:
find.
is this $10,000 contest still active that's in here?
It is not. And if you won the contest, I believe you got a gold-plated gun con game. Ooh, gun.
Okay, that's
$10,000
kind of
too.
cool.
Well, that was the bonus trophy, I guess.
Yeah, but see, they're just counting on people not
Okay.
entering anymore.
Wait.
Maybe if you enter just in case.
Quick shout out, Kelly and Cheryl. Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Deadline.
We should talk about some of the on another episode. We
Nice,
should. There's some really great old video game contests,
Oh.
like the old Atari.
That is a good
some
one.
of the old Atari ones.
That's
were-
an excellent idea.
And the sword.
So Larry,
Sword-
So
Yeah.
don't talk about it anymore, because it's on another.
Okay,
You
So
haven't until
We're gonna do an
January
episode
18th.
on it.
But yeah, there's some really ridiculous.
That's
ones.
a really good call.
It didn't say that.
It says 99.
Oh, does it?
Deadline.
Oh, yeah.
So Larry, what you're saying is your next collector's piece is going to be that golden gun that someone won.
Yeah, to go with that game.
Yeah, I'm guessing
There should be
the
2 of them.
gold-plated gun is probably going to be $1 or $2.
Yeah.
Since there's one of
Or
them
melted
in the entire
down.
We'll
world.
go gold plater on.
And
Or
it is
melted down.
gold-plated.
Or melted down.
Or melted
And
down.
how
It says there's 2. It says there's 2.
And how nice the producer is pictured here with his, I'm
Holy crap,
assuming
there
his
are
daughter or someone that he kidnapped. I'm not quite sure.
Could be
But
somebody he
it's
kidnapped.
real cute.
Wait, let's see the picture.
Yeah, they actually have like the story and the producers that have pictures of them, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
She looks a little terrified. I'm gonna say maybe
Maybe kidnapped. I
Maybe
mean,
kidnapped.
whatever. She probably grew up to be a productive member of her society.
You know, it's funny how
Presiding.
many
Presiding.
of those contests actually ended up not having
Happening,
winners or
yeah.
only partially.
Yeah, but that's what'll make it such a
Alright,
great
yeah,
episode.
we're
Yeah, save it for the episode
totally gonna do
because
that.
that's
Totally
that's
want
something
to
to
know
bring up.
about the contest on the
Oh, that's actually
7800.
pretty cool.
Ooh, wow.
The 7800 card.
Okay, that gold-plated gun
It is out there.
Or
is,
the,
and is gorgeous.
Look, it's got a case.
Ooh, look at the case it came
the
with.
entire
Okay,
26
so-
All right, let's keep talking about things our viewers
Alright.
can't see.
Okay. Anyway,
All right.
So
We're
obviously,
using that damn gun. It's gorgeous.
it's both representative of a collection I love and a specific piece of the collection that I love. So
Benjamin! Hey,
So there.
Benjamin!
we got all the
Scream,
Bens.
Ben!
We got all the Bens in the house
not to be
tonight.
too syrupy.
Well, you be syrupy about that. It was, again, something you shared with your daughter.
I'm
Yeah,
saying-
it is a good. Again, it's one of the
yeah.
best, if not the best,
Yeah.
gun games. Yeah, I mean. Like,
Also, this
Oh, no, no.
episode is kind of about.
oh, it's working
It
design.
is an emotional.
Of course,
it is emotional. I mean, really, again, Travis likes this piece not just because it's rare, but because of what he went through to get that piece.
Yeah, again, it's a constant reminder. Like it's a constant reminder of the highs and lows of collecting.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Right.
And in my head, I can picture us sitting on that couch, and these moments are there, man.
And he misses Alicia, is what this comes down to.
She's in town right
She's
now.
in town right now.
Hi, Alicia.
I've actually visited quite a bit this last time that she's been in town, so it's been nice.
All right. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right.
it comes with a case
Oh,
and everything.
oh, wait.
All right, I've
She
done
does-
this one. I've done this one before,
I know
but
you
in
have.
honor of the Last Jedi trailer,
Oh
that
my
came
God, this is
out,
amazing.
which Justin has watched
Yeah.
15,000
Last
times.
night we were playing Star Wars and we were playing the Battlefront 2
Yeah.
beta, and he was watching the trailer
Yes.
over
Yes.
and over.
No, and then he was watching someone review the trailer. And then he made me watch it before we went to bed again.
I'm not
Did
even
you
gonna
see
go.
this?
I am not
Did
even
you
going to
see
go
this?
there. I'm not even going to go there.
Did you see this?
Continue.
And then he made me dress up as Chewbacca.
That's what I knew that was coming.
Well,
So-
now that makes sense.
And he was dressed as Slave Lambs.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. A very hairy sleeve layout. So this is just a plug-and-play game. I've shown it before, and it's the Millennium Falcon. The games on it are not that cool. They're just like flying and shooting games. But it was Christmas one year, and I had no idea what to get Justin. And I walked into a Goodwill, and this was lying there. Just lying on top of, in the very top, where all those kids' toys are. So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
above the
sitting,
racks and
yep,
everything,
just
yeah.
sitting on top of there.
Before Goodwill got a clue.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
a little more tight
Right,
on that.
oh, I
They
know.
knock things
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
They're tight on everything now.
Yeah, that's true.
Goodwill's got expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was just sitting up there, and it was like a light shining down on it, like.
You mean the lights to light the building?
It could have been that too.
I was also tripping
Hey.
on acid. No, I'm just kidding.
She's not.
Anyway, so then I bought it for him, and he was was very excited, and this is why it's my favorite, because it was just there. I stumbled upon it by accident, and it's really fucking cool. So.
Okay, so based on the connections, I'm gonna say it's its own thing. So
It's a plug and play.
She said.
It's a plug and
Plug
play.
and play.
You know we love our.
do
plug
you
and
ever
plays.
play it?
No, it just kind of sits on the
The
shelf.
games not
The
that
games
bad.
are really not that great. And they're just like a flying.
It's
like,
a sentimental
shooting
thing,
game.
Larry.
It's not cool.
You know, for people who have emotions.
Was he not just talking about how sentiment?
I almost cried.
There was a, yeah, I was gonna say there was a little tear coming to the corner of his eye when he was talking about
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Those
I
are
don't
real
know.
emotions.
Larry's ready to have another baby just so
I
that he
don't
can
know.
experience
I
all of
know,
it.
but you know, I wasn't sure if they played the game or they.
We
didn't,
have
or-
played it. We have played it. It's
Uh-huh.
not that cool. It's
Or
really
if
not
Laura
that cool.
personally played it, maybe the controller is more important. Like, oh, you know, you know, or maybe the game's
That was about
great.
the Chewbacca thing.
Okay.
You know. So,
Oh shit!
but now I know that the game's actually kind of solid.
Yeah, the games are.
So,
I mean, they're
but
fine.
the controller's
but-
beautiful.
Yeah.
And it makes a shiny ornament.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Put it on a Christmas tree.
Maybe.
Just use the cord. Just
And just
And
put a
then
small
go
screen
around.
on the Christmas tree and you can play it in front of the Christmas tree.
Oh, aren't you smart?
All right, who wants to go next?
No one's ever said that before.
Well, there's only me, you, and Rob left.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Well, I thought I misunderstood because I watched his episode where he did 3 things.
Yeah, I did different.
Oh, so you
So-
gonna do
so-
3?
Well, but I
I'm
could
doing
do, I could
different
do
things.
2 really fast.
All right, well, don't do
You can do
whatever.
3.
Do
We
whatever
have
you
time.
want.
Because one
But
for
are
I
you
didn't
gonna
bring
do?
here.
Are you gonna do 3, 2 really fast, and then 1 slow?
Yeah, I'll do 1 slow. So
Okay.
the first fast
Really
one
slow.
is, you know, I've had games my whole life, and some of them have been recycled and returned to buy other stuff. But the one thing I did keep was my Amiga 500 since 1990, whatever. And that's been either in the basement or in a box or out or back in a box, and it's been in and out. So keeping that with the hard drive and all the stuff that came with it, that's one of the things that I
Yeah,
enjoyed
see,
to keep.
that's exactly how I
That
feel
piece of
about mine.
hardware, it's something I remember.
You guys keep
Because-
talking about all the childhood stuff, and I was awful with gear as a kid.
You are.
Whoa,
Yeah,
Trash!
I destroyed everything.
Stop.
Word? have you seen my shit lately?
He's got it.
Yeah.
His video game stuff is immaculate.
I
The
know
rest
it
of his life.
Yeah.
We
But his
can't
video
see
games,
her,
they're
but
We're not
we
talking
can
about
see
the
that
rest of my
stuff.
life.
Oh,
We're talking
he
about the
was a
video
kid,
games.
though. He took a hammer to everything.
So I'll still never forget those laptops we waited for outside of Office Depot.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Dude,
we
I really
bolted
think
it
it was round.
together.
Yeah,
I
but-
came over.
Yeah, what was like $300 Black Friday? It was like a compact laptop.
Literally, it was cold as fuck. These
Yeah.
guys are out there in a tent. I'm sitting in the car. 'Cause I am not sitting out in a tent.
But I ran the thing for like 4 or 5 years, and like by the end, like the plastic's coming off, and like
He had like bolted through like a metal hinge.
yeah.
I literally look like Frankenstein.
Yeah, I trashed the crap out of it. 'cause
It was
I
great.
used it all the time. I just remember.
But Tom continued to buy him stuff. So who's the sucker in this situation?
all right. I'm gonna stop now. All right,
So
but
that's-
I'm with you on
I mean,
that.
I've kept it for all these years. I mean, the Commodore 64 went, the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, all that stuff got shipped back to GameStop or something. I don't know. Whatever. But the Amiga was one that I just kept
Here to tell you.
and have not gotten rid of at all. Nor do I ever plan to really get rid of it.
Hey, I almost want to cry now because I got rid of mine. And what was more important, I can buy another Amiga. I can get another Amiga.
You're very
But I
sentimental
can't.
today.
I can't get one that Tom put a toggle switch in it so that one game would work.
That's right. Literally one game.
Yeah.
Ask for that.
Pinball Fantasies would
I had to mod the computer. Yeah.
it would. 'cause
That
I
was a big
using-
freaking deal.
I was
That was a
using
big
I was
freaking deal.
using a hard drive system, and I was on 2.0, and we had to toggle it so it would only recognize 1.3,
Right.
or every time the ball went into a pinball hole, it would lock up. And it would play fine as long as the ball didn't go into a hole. But as soon as it went in a hole, it would lock up. But if you switched it to run on 1.3, it'd run great.
So you had the round switcher, right? Or something else.
Jim will swear there was no code that said lock up when the ball goes in the hole.
Actually, I think it was switching the fast ram back.
That's right.
I think it was a fast ram issue.
Maybe it ended up to be a fast.
It was a
ram.
fast
He's
ram
like,
issue.
he's like,
I switched it so it would switch it to the
Yeah.
512 versus the 1 meg.
and
So,
it was.
but I
just-
literally added one switch to his system to do that.
Yeah, and it was.
And that was the only game he used it for.
It
I'm
was a
sure when you-
toggle switch.
I'm sure when you sold it, you probably showed the person. Here's
Yeah.
Pinball Fantasy.
Yeah. The Pinball Fantasy Switch.
This
Dude,
is just for this game.
I had the 600, the NTSC version of the Amiga 600, which is just rare as shit. And I think I sold it for about $80 or something in Kansas. It just fucking kills me.
So that-
What was I thinking?
Kansas really sucked your whole
Well,
life.
at least I sold
Sure did.
mine 500 for
I sold.
200.
Yeah. Well,
I still twitch sometimes when I talk about it.
Yeah. So
But anyways, because
for
Tom had
college and
modded
everything.
that,
Oh, yeah.
it was like, oh, that would be the 500 I want.
Yeah.
Tom and I had a lot of good times with the 500.
Don't touch that! Don't touch that!
I can't believe you touched that! You told me not to touch it. What the hell did you think I was gonna do?
No, but I told you not to touch it!
Just two.
We were doing a bunch of mods. And just like, don't touch it. Don't touch it. And he did it anyway.
Had to.
Yeah, you just gotta see what happens. You know?
I think wasn't Jim on the phone too at the same time? We were
He's
working
like
on
over there
Jim's.
like toddler Groot.
Exactly! He had the hair back then. It wasn't
Roll.
So
Okay, so two.
that's the Amiga.
That was the first
that's
one.
The Amiga one. Keeping
All right,
that for
good
all these
call,
years.
good call.
Number 2 is
Was that the fast one?
Yeah, that was the fast one. Keep going.
I was gonna make it fast. Everyone else made it a very long story. Number 2.
I'm just curious if we ruined your
No,
fast
no.
one.
The third one probably becomes the fast one now. But the number 2 would be growing up, going to arcades. One of the games, they always had games. For me, it was Robotron. So when these arcade auctions start coming around, I went to one of them and I found a cabinet that I knew was Robotron underneath, and decided I'm going to restore this thing. Well, I didn't do such a hot job on it. I got almost there, but I was too lazy to buy the guts, so I just made it like a main machine. But it was
Did you bring
dedicated.
it in?
Huh? I didn't bring it in. So.
I'm so
Yeah,
disappointed.
it's in the trunk.
Yeah, I just like lifted up the stairs. So that machine, I decided to sell because I found a machine that I was like, I'm an adult, I can pay for this, and it wasn't an original Robotron machine. I found
Buy my way out of this.
I found a full-size multi-Williams arcade stand-up machine that I bought it mainly for Robotron, but because it has Defender and Stargate and other games on it, that's one of my collection that I'm really proud of. So, because for me,
It's a good
that
machine.
game, I remember as a kid, like walking into the arcade out at Browns Lake, and that was like out in the middle. And every time I walked in there, I swear they were playing Rush, Tom Sawyer, and I would go up to that game.
Sounds
and
about
I want to play Robotron.
I
Oh
feel
shit, we
like,
drank all that beer already?
you know,
Yeah, we did.
No.
you know, I feel, you know what,
No,
I feel like,
It is a session beer, see?
Evidently.
and, you know, obviously, I won't experience it, but the real arcade experience, I feel like, is a little different for our younger staff members.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're
when
staff.
I
We
was younger,
get paid.
Yeah.
when I
that's
was
it.
younger,
Yeah,
we
haven't
only
you got your
had
haven't-
Aladdin's Castle.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
suing you guys for back pay.
But that wasn't the real
Sally.
Aladdin
No, it
Castle.
wasn't.
Sally
It wasn't.
and
But that's all we had.
Yeah, all we
Whoa.
remember
Another
of Aladdin's
drink
Castle is like
That was me.
Boo.
I think she has your red
It's
stapler
his own
too,
stuff.
by
It's
the
okay.
way.
was like a dark mall room that just had games on one side and each side, and then what?
Oh.
The row in the middle, right?
To be
Yeah.
fair, the Regency Mall had an arcade for a
Aladdin's
lot longer than it
most
should
It
have.
did, but it
Yeah,
Purely
yeah.
sustained by
But
DDR.
it had transformed to something a little different. It had become the ticket
Ticket ones.
distributor
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
They
I
took
mean,
it
it's
to the
even
end.
like even up north as a younger teenager, there was like so it's all the way up north, and there was like this like what amounted to a big shed that had all these arcade machines in it and a jukebox.
And that's pretty much what the Browns Lake Arcade
Yeah,
was too.
and right. And so
It became like a storage shed for vehicles after it was done. And I was like, after I realized they emptied, I'm like, this is all this was back then?
We had a bunch
You're
of
like
like
playing Donkey Kong to the devil went down to Georgia. You know?
Yeah.
we had a bunch of arcade games in my basement when I was younger, so we didn't need to go to an arcade. Like,
Oh, that's kind of
Okay.
sweet.
All right.
Spoiled.
Yeah. So I had to wait till I was older in life.
Now you're
They were
Yeah,
really
you can actually
making it.
fall
Brian
it.
jealous.
sorry.
So then
We had Tapper and Crystal Castles and Miss
You had a
Pac-Man.
Tamper machine.
Yeah.
Oh, which version? Root beer or the?
Budweiser.
Oh, that's the best.
I wanted Tapper machine so bad
Me too.
because I had one when I was a kid.
Oh, Tamper's so awesome.
One of these
That's
years,
what I
I'm
thought
gonna
you got
save
played when
up
you went down
at
to
MGC and
Illinois.
actually buy one.
I say we have a moment of silence.
They sell really quick, don't they?
They do,
Tapper?
actually.
They sell
The beer one does.
The beer one.
The beer one does. The
That
beer one
root
you can
beer
do a little
one's
bit easier.
just such a poser.
Who wants that many root beers,
It's not
right?
sour.
So, number 3, you guys have seen this, but
Oh, this is fucking
this is
awesome.
I'll have to have Buddy Rush
This
talk
is
more
so
about this.
awesome.
But this is an early Atari 2600
This is the first multi-cart.
multi-cart. You had replaceable ROM chips.
You got little EEPROMs.
Yes.
EEPROMs,
You
and,
literally
put
burn
it in
Yeah,
there.
you got little labels over them,
Labels
so
so
that you don't actually.
Right, so the UV light doesn't
destroy
expose,
it,
right?
Yeah, and then you had the arrow pointing which way to put them in.
Holy shit! That's
This
awesome.
is technically the first multi-cart for,
So,
for a game system.
I mean, I don't.
How old is it?
I think
This case was so misleading. I thought this was like some
This
stupid
would be,
Atari
late
card
70s.
game or
It's
something.
well,
No.
I know, but
no,
I thought
sorry,
it was like a
underwear.
card game or something.
It's worse. It's worse. It's my Atari sleep shorts.
This is like a multi-cart from the
He's
era.
gonna
which
show
is
that in a
fucking-
minute.
Yeah,
This was so
this is it.
misleading.
So this is and then there's just a crap ton of additional.
So again, because this
I'm
was,
afraid to touch
this
it.
was pre-multimedia, SD, any kind of storage device like that. So
wait, so
you
you
literally-
turned the Atari into what was the system where you just like took the game out and put a new one in and it was a new system.
oh, that was the
all of
the
these still
triangle shaped one by Coleco.
Also,
I
yeah,
forget
they
what it
should
was
still
called.
work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
have
basically
it.
what you would do is yeah, I got 2 of those.
Yeah, but he can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I
Damn
can't.
it.
It's a Coleco system.
I can't either.
So
but I
these
don't
are-
own one.
So basically, and I actually had one of these cartridges in the day, and I had a ROM burner, and you would you didn't download them at that time. You had to pop in. You'd have to desolder a ROM off an existing board, pop it into the reader, read the ROM into your system, and then put the EEPROM in, and then burn it back out. Don't forget, this is like
No,
I feel
this is like 80,
I feel like that's
79, 80.
I
Kids
feel like
these
that's
days.
I feel like that's a level of pirating that you pretty much can let go.
Yeah,
Look,
no, I'm sorry. This was. You had to have, first of all,
That's dedication, though. I would have just bought this shit.
no,
Exactly.
Not when you're poor and it's
No, I would have just robbed someone.
No,
I
see,
mean,
this is it. I mean, still, from a standpoint, is games are fairly expensive. From a standpoint of if you had to buy
$20 or so?
roughly
Was it?
$20 a cartridge.
Right,
But
but
that
you were
being said,
making
that was
a lot of money.
that was back in like $70
Yeah, that's a lot of
nowadays.
money.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I can buy at that time. I'd buy an EEPROM like this probably for about $5, so about a quarter of the cost. Yes. You had to have friends who either had already ripped the files themselves by
Right.
taking their cartridges apart,
Totally had
or
to
you had to do
destroy
it yourself.
someone else's cartridge.
Yeah, but once you've done it, you made a copy of it.
So
anyway,
then you
it doesn't
put
matter.
these onto
The Atari 2600. Wait, which?
a computer?
No, Atari
Yeah,
2600.
the ROMs
Cartridge,
you would
Oh,
save
wait.
them onto a floppy disk. So
Okay, a
you'd
floppy
save
disk.
the ROMs
Thank
onto
you,
a
thank
floppy
you.
disk,
Okay, okay.
and then you could burn them back out via an EEPROM burner.
Gotcha.
So these have little glass windows on them. That's what this sticker is covering. Is a little glass window. I'm just like, you don't mind?
Yeah, no,
So I'm
you
going to
know
go
more
into
about
I'm going
it
to go
than
into the technical.
He's
She's so
super excited.
excited. Look
He's
at
like,
her. Look
"Jack,
at her.
this
He's
is
like
I know.
So there's a little glass window under here, and literally you have this little UV tray. So if you didn't like the game you burned, you'd take this, you'd put this in this little tray, you'd put it under a UV light for about 30 minutes, and then it would completely wipe it clean, and you could burn it again. So you can reuse these. These are called not
EEPROMs.
E-squared proms, but EEPROMs, erasable programmable read-only memory, versus an E-squared prom, which is electronically erasable
So you're gonna buy a burner.
This is
Probably.
gonna sound
Looking it
stupid
up.
of me and very
No,
young
it's not.
of me. Young
This
of me.
is-
But,
this is really
but
old
I
school.
didn't know that pirating went back this far.
Yeah. No, it goes
What,
back.
this
There's a will, there's a way. You know?
Oh, I gotta get rid of all this.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I want to go into jail.
Well, wait a minute.
All these illegal ROMs you have in here.
No, I was
That's
gonna.
amazing.
You know what I
Look
was
at my
gonna say?
collection. I probably have all of them.
Oh yeah. Who doesn't?
You know what I was
Wait,
gonna. I was gonna
118
say.
bucks in Universal.
EEPROM programmer. Yeah,
You
they
know
were
what-
not cheap
you know
back
what-
then.
You know what
either.
I was gonna say is that pirating back then. I mean, you had this, or you were just another company. You
So,
were
Ryan-
ColecoVision,
No,
or
no,
you
no.
were.
Ryan, did
You
you
were just ripping
did you
everyone
rip
off.
these yourself?
No, my buddy Rusty gave me this because he gave me this.
You were Sears.
So that's another thing is like when I decided I was gonna start collecting stuff, which is kind of like Nintendo 64 time. I had another buddy from college give me his television. I have all of his stuff. It was like I'm not gonna do anything with it. So like I started. If you're not gonna do anything, they knew that I was like holding on to things that I would eventually display or
Right.
keep and
Yeah.
and you know I
And
had nostalgia
enjoy
for
more than them, probably. Yeah.
Now I think.
it.
all
And that
right,
one's in
now I'm
backwards
thinking-
now.
Now
Like
I'm
I said, the arrow's
thinking.
point.
Now I'm thinking like with this kind of crap available and this kind of like collection. You know, I say crap in the most loving
Right,
way.
no,
and it's like imagine like you know right now there's like a real popularity of like arcade bars and stuff, but like console or like bars that you can just go in and play like old Atari games and stuff like that. Maybe there's 10 of them or so with different stuff like this. So just like all the time, you know.
Yeah, it's again.
Or the family clones. I mean, they're
The
like
problem
Right.
the problem with these things is
Because
games.
it's not
they
something.
really were for the hardcore
It-
because
it's
you
hard
really
to-
are changing out a chip.
Well, that's just so much
Right.
work. Like nowadays, you just
My question
download
was,
something.
Tom, for not so much for the actual chips. You said that was like $4 or $5.
Right.
What about the actual setup? Like, how much would this actually?
Oh, the board was not terribly expensive at all.
Okay.
Again, it was about the cost of a cartridge, about $20.
Okay, so it wasn't bad. It was just more so having the equipment to do it all
Correct.
the time.
Did,
Right.
Did you
So
have to
basically
order
what
it
you're
from Russia?
No.
And did it come in a
No,
brown
they
wrapper?
these were all coming out of the States back then.
That's what I was curious if it was hard to get as well.
No, they were not hard
Okay.
to get.
So basically, it was just more so the time and having to destroy cards. So basically, the people that did it
Correct.
also made money by selling
Right,
them to cover the cost.
Also, again, it's like
And you could
hobbyists.
mod an
So,
existing.
yeah.
You didn't even have to buy this. You could mod an existing cartridge because most of the cartridges were just this: the address
They
chip
were
and the
illegal.
ROM. So you basically, once you took that ROM off there to
Yeah.
read it, you'd put a zip socket in, and then you had one anyway. So you made your own.
They were legal because maybe you wrote your own game, and now you.
No,
have to-
Atari actually was fairly good about policing their. They had to license through Atari to write games for the Atari.
No, I'm just saying like maybe you
Not
made
that-
wrote
No, the
your
Atari
own
you
game.
Well,
No, it was Nintendo started that.
that's right. They were the ones that just
Yeah,
sealed
that's
them.
kind of why they're
Yeah.
crap.
Well, that was the seal.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
was their-
that was literally
But
the
this
seal.
this is a
of the
beautiful
devil.
piece. We
It
are,
was-
and by the way, we are going to do
everything
a
had to
show
go
about
through
multi-carts, and I want to go into this more because this is
Yeah,
is
I'm
such
actually
a,
really interested in
this is
That's
such
really
a cool
cool.
piece.
All right, let's get rolling.
So,
All right,
but I have one last thing.
All right,
okay.
So all the cartridges have a little yellow sticker, except one has an orange one.
Why?
Because it's Custer's Revenge.
Oh,
I think
The
that
porn
was too
sticker.
boring.
Sexual.
yes. No, they put a red, sticker on
red
it.
sticker.
Yeah.
Orange is
As in, stop! Don't put this in. Don't
if
play.
you're
Yes.
under 18, do not play this.
Yes.
That was the early ESRB, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yellow
That's
means
exactly
okay for kids.
Right.
Right.
Red,
Right.
not
No,
so
that
much.
makes sense.
So you've let Alexandra play that.
It
Right.
probably looks like
You know
something
what?
else.
Every-
Yeah. Now, in all honesty, you could play it. Nobody would know
I
anything.
know.
Everybody knows Custer's Revenge, but nobody knows A Night About the Town. I mean, it's the
I mean,
same
it's-
game.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's the reason.
You know, but slightly better. You know?
I think because I don't. Did they come out after maybe?
I would assume because it improved.
Yeah, that's what
So,
happens.
so the one thing I gotta find is the thing that holds these chips much better
You just
Then
buy the
throwing
tubes.
them in a.
Buy the tubes.
than like nestling
Yeah.
them on each
Yeah.
other.
No, buy the
They love each
static
other.
tubes.
And then
I
moved
actually
it
I
to
didn't
an
have
Atari
static tubes
game.
in my
I
office.
kind of
I will
like your
check for
Atari tin.
Oh yeah, I remember those because on the Apple IIgs, the memory chips used to come in those.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
anti-static tubes.
and then
No,
you
you just what you want to do.
Then,
you
like,
get
8
the
of 'em,
anti-static
putting 'em
tube and
in.
just
Yeah.
cut it
I-
aside.
I do have another
So,
question
Ryan-
about the tin. Is that like a stocking stuffer you got, or is this something that you
Kohl's-
actually bought
Kohl's
for
sold
yourself?
it. They were on the clearance rack for Kohl's for like $3 or something.
Nice.
I
And
feel
I'm
like I feel like the
but it's an
Atari
Atari
tin is
tin.
great.
Yes, it's a
I
great
think it
tin.
is. It's like, oh look, it's Atari candy. It's
You're like, no.
I thought it was. I had no idea what it was, but I didn't expect you to open it and have all
Yeah.
these like.
like microchips.
Yeah.
So I would say
That's
this is
pretty awesome.
because I don't have a lot of
Vortex
rare
yes.
stuff, but I think this falls in that rare.
That is
It's a cool
that
piece.
is fair. And again, to
Yeah,
have
I like
that
that a
many
lot.
EPROMs
Yeah.
in the collection
And the
is
fact
amazing.
that Rusty held lot,
The
so
fact
you just
that I
pull
didn't
them out
even
one
know
day and
this
he's like,
existed.
look at all this stuff.
That's
like,
freaking amazing.
It's like I will hold on to these and they will be part of my collection
Damn straight.
forever.
That's awesome.
You know, again, and
How did
and
that
I would say that would be a
system
really good
die?
one to show at MGC this year.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Yeah,
How
display all the
did-
chips
how
up on
did
a board.
Atari
Yeah.
die?
And, oh, that
Behind glass.
Okay.
Oh yeah, behind glass. Oh god, yes.
Shadow box.
Yeah, we'll shadow box and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go next. This was a tough one for me. I've had a couple of
Yeah, you have a million systems.
That's part of it, but I've
That's most of it.
And
Most of it.
Peruni and
no, but the problem was I've had a couple of white whales in my lifetime of collecting. Things that I saw when they first came out, and I wanted to get them. Like Ryan, I still have my original 2000. Actually, my original 2000, which ran EOTU, which is a bulletin board game.
and it's super.
Look, I'm
yeah,
just talking
I
about
loved
that.
your
Right.
BBS.
Which me and Rob used to run together. I still have it. It came from a friend of mine who passed away, Danger Mouse. I still have that. I still have that original 2000. It's still in perfect condition. That's kind of my original.
Can he still throw up that super sweet BBS?
You bet I can. Actually, no. I'm actually thinking
I
about
don't have a phone line.
they've come up with a whole bunch of white. What's gotten really hot nowadays is Wi-Fi modems for old.
I've
systems.
seen those.
And people are opening
wanna
up their
try
people
that.
are opening up their old BBSs. I'm kind of seriously considering bringing EOTU
Oh.
back. If you chance,
I would
look
like
up,
to
just
play
type
All
in
Roads
BBS
Go
list EOTU. You can see what me and Rob used to do in the old days.
Oh yeah, I wrote all the
I'll probably
like,
send an
text
email
for that.
saying, "Can I be a
Drunken Brew, the whole game.
Oh yeah,
So-
Drunken Drew. Yeah.
Okay, but getting back down to it.
One of the first
So
months.
that was part of it really deciding on something. But like you, I've kept that. But I've also had some white whales in collection systems I couldn't afford when I first started collecting and got into this, and now I've been fortunate enough to have time and collect. So the CD TV, when it first came out, I remember seeing it, one of the demo units, one of the very early demo units. There used to be a software company in Racine that was producing the Fred Fish discs.
Oh, I know
I
the
remember
dad.
those.
Yeah, you do. So
Roundabout? No.
yeah, Pavlovsky's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing it, and he had. No, so this is where this is
who-
where me and him started.
I
meeting.
knew. Well, no, it's before that because
Yeah.
Commodore.
Oh, that's
But-
true. The club.
But the Amiga stuff was from Marcus,
Yeah.
his son.
Yeah.
Like, and I went over and like, this computer's amazing. And he called me Zamahack because every time I turned it on, I could guru meditation the.
Every time.
It's like, how do you keep doing that? Like, I don't know what this red bar means, but
So so he
But I'm
had
really intuitive.
He had one of the prototypes, the original CD32s in his office, and I got to see it there.
TV, right?
Yeah, CDTV. I'm sorry. He had one of them there because they were testing out the discs that they were making up, and it was amazing stuff. So that was one of my white whales, and I've managed to collect one. We show it at MGC once in a while and other shows. But that's I was very lucky, and about 3 or 4 years ago, I found one in really good order, and I picked it up. But that's not necessarily all. Just so many good pieces. My very first video game system.
He has to stand up for this.
Yeah, I do, because I've got a very large box. My very first video game system I had from my oldest brother, Mike. So this goes back to the 70s. This is the first home video game system. Grew up
Look
fairly
at all that color on the
fairly
side of the
poor,
box.
let's put it that way. No, dirt poor. But my brother joined the Navy. And one thing about the Navy guys is they always had lots of cash to spend. Because they had no lives, exactly.
Right.
They're on base
Yeah,
all the time.
exactly.
So evidently the PX, when the Odyssey first came out, carried it. The PX at Great Lakes Naval Academy or Great Lakes Naval Station down in Illinois carried it, and Mike bought one for the family for Christmas. So this came out in 70, oh God.
You can probably look at the box.
Yeah, I could, but I'm not.
Or some of you use their
We got it
magic
like
technology.
we got it like in
from
'74. Mike bought it first like in '74. But he bought it first for Christmas, and it was again gift for the family system. But it was a video game. I mean, this was it. This was the first home video game, and it was just like this was amazing at that time.
I love how the on
72.
switch
Yeah.
is.
72.
September.
So I didn't get it till 74, which makes sense.
Wow.
Mike wouldn't have got it right when it came out.
Yeah.
I like that the on-off switch is literally pulling
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cartridge in and out.
Battery powered.
That's so cool though. Like everyone, okay, so all of you millennials at home, including myself and like Travis, like imagine.
I'm
like,
not one, don't
no,
worry.
no, no, no.
You're too young for
Imagine going
I'm
back
saying.
and like getting the first video game system.
Yeah, so the first home video game, I kind of
Yeah.
messed up the cartridges here. But, their idea of cartridges are really just
No,
wires.
let while you back here.
Yeah, here.
I'll hold that while you pull
for
stuff
just a
in and
moment.
out.
So, the way they did cartridges back then, this is a video game cartridge from 72. I'm sorry, 74. Was it? No,
Looks
72.
like a Linux.
72. All it is a bunch of wires that connected. All the
Nice.
games are actually built into the system. And you just change the wiring effectively of the system to play it.
So it's a fancy jumper.
I see it comes with poker chips.
It is.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
So you
because
can gamble.
exactly. So the game system is designed. It had no color; it was black and white. So you had these really cool static overlays that would stick to your TV screen
Down in different sizes.
when you wanted. Yeah, of course, because you might have a small TV or a large TV, and you would stick these on your TV screen. There's no.
Can you show us what a large TV was back in 1974?
My computer at work is bigger than
Yeah, no, I got
think he did.
No,
And
wait.
it costs
I think
$80.
he did.
Yeah. So the whole thing was that the graphics are all just blocks. There's no fancy sprites or anything like that. So yeah, that was a small TV back in 74. This would be a large screen TV back in 74. So that was it, kids.
So I have 3 of those monitors.
That's if
that
you
work
had one of
now.
those consoles
What are you talking?
that had the
19 inch
bar
probably, 19 inch?
and a stereo system built into it, and we did have one of those consoles with a bar and stereo system.
I'm thinking that's a 19 inch.
The
Yeah.
power and the stereo system, yeah. Those
All
are
Yeah,
those
I
inputs,
think
yeah.
that's as big as my
So,
monitor at work. I have 2.
But again,
have
so
three.
this
I
was
have 2.
I've got a 42-inch.
actually
Wow,
no,
that
okay,
isn't really
just-
put together with
hold-
all the
that.
overlays for the TV and stuff.
Yeah, so that is it, guys. That is the very first home video game
Love it.
system.
And we have shown this at
We do
every
year.
We do every
Yeah.
year. We
It's
have
got English. You can do English on the
on the wall.
You can. It
So,
took
yeah.
several days for us to figure that out.
Yeah.
This year I helped hook, or this past year I helped hook this up. And as I'm like hooking it up, Tom's giving me this lecture about how it's the oldest, home game system and how it's his original and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't feel like I should be handling this thing.
Well, the fun part is he does keep
I see that one.
like
Which one?
1970s
the last thing you just
TV.
put away.
Yes.
No, that
is
To
was-
what
hook
it's
it
for.
up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
god,
you
yeah.
can have the true experience.
No, I do. I have a TV
full
from the same
experience.
period.
So this is from
I want to talk.
Yes.
I want to talk about this particular
Where did-
game because
They
it's
show us on
really.
the doll where they touch
It's,
it.
yes, exactly. This is one of the first. The first.
Yes.
The first.
Is it really?
Report your neighbor. It's called Show Me Where They Touched You, and yeah.
And
You don't see
then-
games like this real often anymore.
Yeah.
A game
And you
console,
know you're
much
okay.
kids would really
You
understand.
know you're okay if they just keep pointing at the cat.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well, wait.
That just
Whoa.
my pussy. So,
Oh God.
So, again, the game system, it literally ran on like 6D batteries. You can buy a power adapter for it, but it runs on 6D batteries. Like Larry said, there's no on and off switch. You stuck the cartridge in. Not only did it complete the wiring for the game, but it turned the game on by completing the power for the on and off switch. The controls would be nothing you would recognize by today's standards. They are very, I'm going to hand that to you for just a moment. They are very awkward and unwielly.
You have to like
they're very,
Yeah, like
turn
yeah,
the
yeah,
knob.
yeah.
I think they're
Hold it
very
like this,
raw.
and you're like going
Yeah.
back and forth. Like,
But this was
I
the
think
beginning.
I think they're very raw to the first video game system in like when you watch a video like a movie of the first video game system and you see the guys in white coats and they're effing around with the round screen.
With an old oscilloscope, which
it's-
was.
so
But-
that's why I think those controllers are actually like
But
very
Bushnell
similar
actually
to
took
what-
that development from that, and that's exactly what it was.
right.
The game itself is not digital at all. These are all analog. Everything in here is analog. There's no digital processing.
There's no brain at all, really.
Right. There's absolutely no processing in here. It is literally an analog system. Yes, we generate, what appears to be effectively digital images, but it's done through analog circuitry.
And here it is from 1974, still working. And we have Xboxes from like 2006 that don't work at all.
From 2015, why does my Xbox One not
The
read
more you
this?
complicate
I'm like,
it,
that
the
thing's
more
like 1 year old.
Yeah,
The more you complicate
Who's using a
system,
disc with it?
Yeah, I know.
the tougher it is to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
it going.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just saying,
a lot of these did die. It's just, these things were made in a time when you didn't have a computer to design them. They literally, I think I've mentioned this before. To make the traces small enough, they would mount a projector on the ceiling with the traces, and they would actually walk the traces back then. It's just crazy how low tech it was developing these things. Traces are that thick, so they're never gonna burn out. They're like.
Yeah, no, they are, exactly. And,
Inch wide.
and again,
It's wide.
so this one was, again, was developed by Bushnell, and again, Bushnell, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you
no,
kept
I'm
things
sorry.
longer
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
When they were made.
Well, again,
Dude.
because these were big investments. I mean, like I said, we were poor. If my brother hadn't been, I'm sorry, Barry, yeah, I'm sorry, Bear. If my brother hadn't been in the Navy, trust me, we wouldn't have had one of these. There's no way. I mean, these were horribly, horribly expensive back then.
$99.
What's that?
$99.
Adjust for
Yeah, but-
inflation. please.
Introductory.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
like $300
just for
now.
by today's pricing now.
It's $566.
Yeah.
Is it?
$566 in today's
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Still cheaper than
the other
Xbox
thing
One,
cool is
so-
because
when it came out.
it was kind of meant as an overall family system. You had all these like board game elements to it. For the like a casino where you actually used real chips. And if you notice, I've still got mine in the
Yeah.
shrink wrap.
Parents wouldn't let them play this.
All sorts of card games that went
Gambling
with
games.
it. I mean, it was a really very cool. And again, this one's kind of my pride and joy because it's a very complete one.
It's a stand-up thing.
What's the other thing?
Holy cow, that's cool. That's the
You said that multimedia
Oh, that's for the
wasn't
baseball
a thing.
visitor.
Yeah, that's for the baseball game.
He said that
That is
multimedia
pretty
wasn't
cool.
a thing, and here he is with his multimedia.
Well,
Downs, quarter, plays, flat A and B.
yeah. Again, it's this is one of my more prized pieces. Not that it's my only good piece, but this is kind of another one of mine that I just
No.
again.
Yeah.
Is it a great game? No. And honestly, no sound, no scoring. The games themselves suck. They're boring. Hey, I mean, back then,
That was pretty good.
the Pong was good, but
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
I
let
had
me
spirited
rephrase that.
games of Pong on it.
yeah, we honestly,
Once we figured out how it worked.
no, people actually do sit down. I'm always amazed how many people just, holy shit, and start playing it with you, and it's like, yeah, it's not that bad actually. No sound, no scoring, no nothing, but again, just to see that first video game, that first home video game, and get a chance to experience it and play on it. So again, if you're at MGC, stop by. We'll definitely have it set up again this year. All right. There was a few other ones, CDTV, yeah, but that's fine. That's all the only one we'll discuss.
All right.
What do you got, Rob?
This is actually my first home console. This isn't it. I mean, but it's
I was
facsimile
like,
therefore of.
Yeah, because he is the sell it and then recover it.
You do, Rob.
Yeah.
I do.
You do.
I buy things multiple times. This is number 3. But this is my first Atari of the series, Video Arcade 2, and what is really
Nice.
freaking cool about it is,
It looks like a
This-
7800.
yes, well, it is literally a precursor of the design. And what's kind of cool about it is, game systems did not have like an LED lighting system in them at this time. I mean, this is the early 80s. But when you power this guy up,
It
Next
doesn't
time
seem
we'll
like,
go power
it
up
doesn't seem
the
like that was like massive technology though to have a little red light.
yeah, right? But this,
But Think about all the original video games.
But this sucker lit up like a Christmas tree. It's actually
Really?
yeah, it's actually got quite a few. And it's got a rocker switch, but if you look,
Ooh, dang!
yeah, see, it's got multiple
Look
LEDs
at that!
in it,
Oh.
and everything was push button.
So you got to remember, this was a time when LED watches were so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I really like this one, and then the controller was also innovative. And I remember, this is just an Atari. I mean, this was at the time when Atari was still dominant. The controller also was very innovative.
Oh, that does sound like, that does look like the controller that hurts from the 7800.
Exactly. It's a little bit better though. It's got a built-in.
Do you
it has
use
a built.
both hands?
Yeah. But it didn't have actually. Atari only had one button, so this would use both. But it's a lot kinder to
Left
your
or
hand than
right.
the 7800. I don't know why they did what they did with the 7800, but also built-in paddles. So that's unusual in that you actually do have to plug in 4 of these to have 4 players, unless you
I
use the
think
original
that
paddles.
is the system I first played Dark Cavern on, which
Really?
is a really good game for
What?
the 2600.
The controller, if you feel it, feel that next to a 7800 controller, and you'll know that's a way better freaking controller. than the
Oh yeah, that
7800.
makes sense, man.
I like the cable management.
Yeah, it also has cable management on the back.
Now the
which-
7800 did have that,
yeah.
where you could wrap your cords up and things
And
like
it's a
that.
Sears video.
Hidden
arcade.
switches.
Yep.
Yes.
Sears.
Yeah, they never. Only in Japan. This was made. This was originally made in Japan as the Atari 2700 or 2800, and it never came out in the U.S. except through Sears.
Weird.
Sears brought it up.
And now Sears is going out of business.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you know.
But you know, again,
It's not because they didn't have good video games.
no, and in the early days of video gaming, Sears was the one to go to. They.
What do you mean? Decades ago, Sears was the only place you went to for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
but
true.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So back then,
Well, they're
it was
going
Sears
back-
was a huge thing, and now
They're going back to being a catalog. They're getting rid of brick and
Yeah.
mortar, and you can order all
Oh.
kinds of crap from Sears
The
and or robots.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the 4 controller.
Yeah,
You said
four
4
ports.
controllers.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
realize.
four ports on it.
wow,
They meant
Wow.
like 4.
So it might have been the first 4-port
This is nice.
system.
The
Once again,
7800
by
had 4 ports, right?
No,
No, mine.
7800 has 2 ports.
No, but the 5200 had a 4-port model. There was a 2-port model and a 4-port model.
Yeah, but every 5200
Yeah.
is terrible.
Well, yeah,
No.
they are actually.
That is
No matter how many
absolutely
ports
true.
it has.
We'll
It
probably
was
get the 5200
terrible.
people. on
Yeah,
that
no,
stuff
yeah,
in a little while.
they're all gonna.
But I gotta say, when I opened
Send me to
that,
Larry at guysgamesandbeer.com.
We didn't say the Jaguar was bad.
but
I mean,
not this
that
episode.
makes sense.
Not
Now you're going up on.
I gotta say, on Christmas when I opened that up, I was blown away because I'd never seen anything like it before. There's nothing. There was
Yeah,
no
all your buddies
system.
had
like
wood
this.
grain.
Yeah, and you would look at something like the ColecoVision. Even the ColecoVision was a terribly crude console as far as
Yeah.
appearance. This is a very
No,
Yeah,
fine.
that's
this
it.
almost looks modern.
Yeah, it does actually.
You
It's
can-
a very modern
You can
look.
put it up there and nobody think anything.
No,
of it.
it's
Yeah.
very slick. It's a nicely designed system. You're right. I mean, from a design
Very pretty
standpoint,
system.
it's very different from anything else at the time.
Yeah, not terribly rare, but fair. You know, just
They'd
unusual.
broken from the 70s.
Yes, it broke from that '70s design.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that the moral of everyone's story here, not everyone's, but a lot of
To
people,
break
is
from
that
the 70s?
no, that it was the original game system.
Oh, that makes
You know,
sense.
a
Yeah,
lot
your
of
first
people-
one.
Well,
For
that's
that.
it. You just have
Not-
that bound
not
spot
mine.
for it.
Oh, I know, not yours, but yours was sentimental too.
Well, it's sentimental, but it wasn't the original system.
I
It
thought
wasn't
you
my
said
original
psychomental.
system.
Psychomental.
I
That
just put
too.
my cartridge in your
It was a
system.
mental.
Ooh. Look at that. It fits perfect.
Oh.
It's a good fit, and that's what's funny is everyone puts it in the other
The
way and
chip
it doesn't
basic.
work.
Yes, but the good thing about it doesn't hurt it either.
Yeah, that was always like frustrating about like the Atari design is like they have these really super, or at least sometimes have super great labels, and you gotta like face them away from you.
Yeah.
So you can't see them. Wouldn't it be great if you like plugged it in and the super great label was looking at you? I think that'd
Would've
been
been
the better
badass, yeah.
design. But
All right, Rob. Why don't we go ahead and wrap this
Yeah,
thing
let's
up?
wrap this sucker up. It's been
Way
super
too
long.
Yeah, we went
Okay.
along tonight.
So, if you enjoyed this episode, and Lord knows you did,
It was amazing.
you can check us out at
I feel like we
www.guysgamesandbeer.net.
destroyed this one.
Darn right. At Facebook. If you
Look
want
at-
some free
look at how
games,
it's
we
just
still...
beers everywhere.
Speaking
And
of Facebook free games, what did you give away this week, Rob?
We gave away Vindicta this week, and there's one more left.
Oh.
So there's still time to get yourself a copy of Vindicta. www.facebook.com/ Guys, Games and Beer. I forgot the name of the podcast.
No problem.
After 5 years, I just forgot the name of the podcast. On
Guess what I?
Twitter, sorry.
Guess
On
what I
Twitter,
said,
Guys,
too.
Games, Beer.
Where's that?
Yet more copies
I
of
saved
Vindicta.
one more copy that I'm going to be giving away tomorrow on Twitter. So if you wanted to get a copy of a really great VR game, we will be giving away one tomorrow on Twitter.
Yep, and Friday on Facebook.
All right, so 2 more copies coming up. One tomorrow, one on Friday, tomorrow on Twitter, Friday on Facebook. This is a game you really want to get. I mean, it's not terribly expensive anyways. If you haven't bought it, you probably should just go out and buy it. But
I agree. It's actually a really good
It's-
VR game.
oh my
if you got
God,
VR,
yes.
you gotta try it.
yeah,
It's
but
insane.
we are going to be giving away 2 copies this week, so check us out.
Yep, and then finally, if you hang on, the stream will kick back on in a few minutes after this, and we're gonna be doing some Xbox modding. It's a little bonus.
Yeah.